everybody, welcome back. Today I have for you my first ever interview for this channel. So I told y'all a while back I'm going to start doing kind of these videos, Orthodox interviews, interviewing Orthodox people here in Japan. And I got my first interview with a brother named Nikolai, who goes to the cathedral in Tokyo with me. Man has an amazing story. So I hope you enjoy the interview. It gets kind of funny. I love that brother. But enjoy the interview. There's something special that he has to say at the end. And I hope you all enjoy what he has to say and can assist him in what he's trying to do. And God willing, this will be the first of many interviews I'll get to do. So anyway, hope y'all enjoy it. Thank y'all for y'all's continued support. And yeah, let's get into the interview. So first, before we begin, because this is an Orthodox thing, and I think it would be best to at least say a slight prayer.
Right.
So in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord Jesus Christ, our God, bless this conversation so that it may be fruitful and so that those who may listen to it can get a little bit more insight into our brother Nikolai here and a little bit more of an understanding of the church in Japan, and through your grace, come to know you more and the struggle of the faithful here in Japan. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, help us. All right. Now I'm going to start the little introduction.
Right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Today, you might notice things are a little bit different. I have, for the first time, a guest on the channel. So like I mentioned to y'all last time, God willing, I want to try and start doing more of these interviews, try to interview faithful here in Japan, just so you can understand a little bit more what it's like being Orthodox in Japan, get some different perspectives, and learn a little bit more. And hopefully you can learn with me, because I'm not the smartest in the world and I like talking to people. But anyway, so today we have for our first guest, Nikolai. So would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Right. Yeah. My name is Nikolai. Yeah. I'm part Japanese, well, 3/4 Japanese and 1/4 Scottish. If I give the whole ancestry thing, it will be made into probably like, I don't know, it would be a book.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure people would like to hear it or read it. So you said you're a quarter Japanese and
3/4.
three-quarters Japanese and a quarter Scottish. Where were you born and raised mainly?
I was born in Yokohama, Japan.
Okay.
Next to Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes. So yes. And then I actually moved around. So 2.5 years after I was born, my dad was moved from Japan to Singapore. And
Okay.
then I had part of my childhood in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also where my brother was born.
Okay.
So I moved around between Japan and Singapore. Well, Singapore, Japan, and Japan, Singapore again. Most of my childhood's been in Singapore.
Okay. So most of your childhood's been in Singapore. And how long? I'm gonna turn my phone off. How long have you been in Japan? The longest amount of time you've been living here? So you said you've gone back and forth between Singapore and Japan. Obviously you're in Japan now. So this time, how long have you been in Japan up until now?
So let's see. This time around, it is, 3 years and 3 months, I think.
Okay.
3 years, 3 months at this
Okay.
point.
And what brought you back? Oh, so
Uh,
about how old are you, by the way?
28,
28. Okay. And so you came back around 25, something like that.
20, yes, 25, 2018
Okay. And what
after
brought you
World
back?
Cup. So, well, I wanted to live in Japan. That's why I came back.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Um, and I'm curious because I've only ever been to Japan. Like I've been here, I think about 8 years, but this is the only country I've ever really visited. So have you gone to any other countries other than like Singapore and
many.
Japan?
I've been to many. So, let's see. Southeast Asia, regionally, I've been Malaysia,
Mhm.
Indonesia, Thailand. Let's see, where else? Vietnam, Cambodia. I think that's about it for Southeast Asia.
Okay, uh, that's still a lot more to me.
Right, let's see. East Asia, China,
Mhm.
specifically Shanghai. Transit only Taipei and Hong Kong.
Okay.
And then let's see. Europe, well, European part of Turkey at least. There's
Mhm.
Istanbul,
Mhm.
or we should call it Constantinople.
Yeah.
And then there's the UK,
Mhm.
England, and Scotland.
So, I mean, like that's a lot. That's a lot, man. What caused you to want to travel to so many countries? Do you just like traveling? Was it
It,
traveling with family or?
it was Southeast Asia regionally was partially family vacations.
Okay.
Let's see what else, and business trips from my previous work.
Okay. So your business trips. Okay. Um, wow, man, that's wild. What do you do now, or what did you do that caused you to kind of travel so much?
That work then was you know the brand. Let's see. Or am I allowed to wait? Is there confidentiality on this? I used
I
to
mean,
work in
you'd where?
let's see, what was it? How would I explain?
Or you can say the type
Housewares.
of company. You don't necessarily have to say the
Right,
name of the brand, just like what
right,
type of company was it?
right. Houseware company. Well, also sell furniture, some food and beverage. The main
Okay.
product to be organic cotton.
Okay. Okay. So kind of a big company.
Organic cotton. It's minimalist,
Hmm.
so white, sterile kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay. And so you had to travel uh
Yes.
for that.
So
Okay. Are you
went to an
still
yeah,
with
went to an
organic?
organic cotton exhibit.
Mhm.
Round table in Turkey.
Wow.
We also looked at kilim, Turkish rugs in Izmir
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Well, that's crazy. Are you still at that company now, or have you changed?
I left 3 years ago in order to move back to Japan.
Okay. Okay. Um, and with that kind of you traveling all over the world, I kind of want to jump into the Orthodox part. Um,
Yes,
are you raised Orthodox or did you convert? Tell me a little bit about that.
right. I converted out of my own will in Singapore
Singapore. And how long ago was that?
4 years ago from now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um, in Singapore. So okay, tell me how did that happen? Like what were you or what was um your spiritual path before you came to Orthodoxy, what caused you to come to it? Like, just tell me everything.
Let's see. My background beginning with that, it was really Japanese attitude on religion, really. Buy some Omamori talisman at the shrine, stuff like that. Let's see, what else? So, I really didn't think of religion back then. So, but I did have an interest in history. So, I was reading on the history of Rome at first. So, so most textbooks, well, textbooks from the UK, they would only talk about Rome with their fall of the Western Roman Empire.
Right.
There wasn't really on what happened to the East.
Yeah. Like I never heard about like the Byzantine Empire or anything like that until like, well, I think until I started going to an Orthodox church. Yeah. In America, that's kind of the first time I really started to hear about it. Yeah, but sorry, keep going.
So let's see. Oh, that was one part. Other part, what? Let's see, what else? I had a fondness for Russian culture as well, so that partially led the way.
Okay, what happened with the Russian culture? Like, was that because of some people you met in Singapore? Was it, where's the Russian connection?
Let's see. I guess from playing GoldenEye on Nintendo.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember the GoldenEye. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's probably the most mundane answer that you would get.
No, I like that. Okay. Wait. Who was the are you talking about the N64?
Yeah, the
Like,
Nintendo 64.
who was what was the Russian character?
There were plenty. Like half of the cast.
Was wait, wasn't there like a female character with like red hair or something, I think?
Yeah. She's Russian, although played by a Polish actress.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, it's been a while since I need to find that game and play it again. That's a good game. I like that.
We need to play it. We need to find a time to play it.
Yeah. I like that answer, man. That's wild. Okay. Yeah. So like how did the interest in Russia kind of lead into to Orthodoxy?
So let's see. Returning to Singapore. So when I left Singapore the second time, it was due to visa issues, so I had to relocate somewhere else. And it happened to be that I went to Phuket in Thailand.
Okay.
So, well, Phuket, it had an interesting base in tourism. Because visa policy for Thailand is easy for Russians. There were many Russian tourists and Russian language, Russian pandered businesses.
Really? In Thailand?
In Russian expats, of course. So.
Okay, I'd never expect that, but all right. I mean, I don't travel that much, so I mean, I guess I wouldn't know that, but okay, that's wild. Okay.
So there were many Russian tourists until 2014. Whole cream incident where the ruble
okay, yeah,
and you just see less of them, and Chinese tourists kind of replaced them.
Okay.
So over there, I touched with Russian culture again. Those expats. There was even a store that sold Georgian and Ukrainian food and beverage. This was also where I met my love for Georgian wines.
Is that good? I haven't had Georgian wine yet. The The only wine I really get, I think I've had maybe Ukrainian wine in Sendai once or twice at the church up there, because I think the Eucharistic wine they used came from like a little import shop, and it's pretty sweet. And the wine that we use in at the church in Fukushima when we go there is I think maybe the same. I think I'm not sure, but I've never had Georgian wine. Is Georgian
Uh,
wine good?
it is. It's very good.
Is it
You can
sweet?
buy it in Japan. You can buy it dry, sweet, well, semi-sweet here usually. But yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to pick that up because my wife likes wine, and sometimes like when we get the bottle from church and there's like a look like there's half of it left, and they say, "Hey, Nikolai, just take it home," and so that's like one of my favorite parts, and so I'm gonna have to see if I can find some Georgian wine.
Uh, or what? Next time after church, if we have time,
Yeah,
come to my neighborhood. There's a store that sells Georgian wine. You can just open a bottle there and drink.
doing that. We're gonna do that. We need to do that. Like what is it? Old calendar Christmas, like a
Yeah.
New Year's or like a nativity celebration. Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
I'll be in Russia in the meantime, so it will
Yeah.
have to wait a bit more.
The more, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That'll be a good thing to look forward to. But by the way, in well, how long were you in Thailand?
All right. 2 years.
2 years.
So
And
yeah,
at that point, were you aware of Orthodoxy, or were you interested in it, or not yet?
increasing.
Increase. Okay.
So the
Were there
next
any
step
churches?
was yes, there is a church in Phuket. There's
Okay.
a church in Bangkok as well.
Hmm.
So yes, but the church in Phuket was a bit too far to go for my scooter.
Right. Okay.
Right.
That's
So
crazy.
this is where the next poll came.
Yeah.
So I have my Steam game, Civ
Hmm.
5. I found Byzantium.
Hmm.
I play it. It was fun, and I get to know more about the Byzantine Empire and
Wait,
Eastern
Byzantium.
Orthodox.
What is that? Is that a game?
Civ 5, Civilization.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
So from Civ 3, there's been a Civilization, Byzantium as the playable Civ.
Hmm.
So Civ 5, it was represented by Theodora,
Wait, hold up.
Justinian.
Wait, sorry. I'm just processing that two of the key things in your path towards orthodoxy are Civilization 5 and 007 Goldeneye for the N64. I love that. I love that. I love that. That's awesome, bro. I love that. I love it.
And yeah, there was also textbooks and
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but the video games, that's much cooler. That's like much cooler. So I like that. Okay. When did you actually decide, okay, yo, I'm gonna join the church. I'm gonna get baptized? And like, I
Right.
think you said it happened in Singapore, but like,
Mhm.
um, what made you decide, okay, I'm gonna do this? And also, since you had such an interest in Russia and Russian culture, what type of church were you baptized in? Was it a Russian church? Was it like a Greek church, or how'd that work?
So to answer the latest question, it was it was in the Russian Orthodox Church. I will get into the churches in Singapore. So let's see. So I was aware that there were Orthodox churches in Singapore as well.
Mm-hmm.
One time I did plan to go to look at Pascha, but
Hmm.
I was too tired that I wasn't able to go.
Hmm.
So I was left at another time. I think that was 2015 when I thought of that attempt. So
Okay.
that fell through, and since August of 2015, I was back in Singapore. because I got the work permit and the visa to stay for my work. So yes. So a year later, I got in touch with some parishioners in the Russian parish, and they connected me with, they helped me connect with then Father Pitrim.
Father Pitrim.
Yes, Pitrim. Yes.
Pitrim. Okay.
So arranged for a time to visit after work, sit down with tea, asking about Orthodoxy. So one story that got us was Saint Nikolai of Japan. So yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we didn't mention it. Yeah. So your patron saint is Saint Nikolai of Japan.
Yes.
Same as me, and I think at the church we go to together, I think there's one more person that's Saint Nikolai. I don't know if he goes there constantly, but I think there's another person who's Saint Nikolai of Japan. So there's the triple Nikolai there. And what made you pick Saint Nikolai of Japan?
Well, first, he is the saint of Japan. So that is one pull. Well, the biggest pull was that his memory day is my birthday.
Oh, wait, which old or new calendar?
Old. February 16th.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's your birthday.
So that kind of sealed the decision. Well, my personal decision. I could have been Dimitri.
Yeah.
If I didn't know about Saint Nikolai of Japan beforehand. You would have been speaking to Dimitri.
Okay. Well, I'm either way would have been great, but I'm glad it ended up being Nikolai. And that's awesome. Actually, when were you baptized? Were you baptized on your birthday? I mean, because when I got baptized, I tried to get baptized on the Feast of Saint Nikolai on the new calendar, because when I was baptized, it was in America at an Antiochian church, and it was, oh Lord, February 5th or 2nd. I keep on forgetting new calendar, old calendar. I keep getting them confused. But around that time, I wanted to get, I think it was the second or third, but I ended up getting baptized on the 5th. But for you, were you able to get baptized near your birthday / feast day, or when did that happen?
I was baptized at Pentecost.
Okay. And when?
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was 2017.
2017.
So
Okay.
I inquired around October, somewhere around September, October 2016, and I got baptized Pentecost 2017. I was baptized with another person. Not sure whether I should mention him or not. He is like a brother to me, because we're baptized in the same pot at the same day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't, we don't have to say the name, but is that person in Japan with you, or are they still in Singapore, or?
He is in Singapore.
Okay. But that's great. So you got baptized 2017. I think you said you came back to Japan in 2018, right?
Came back to Japan in 2018.
2018. So you've spent most of your Orthodox life in Japan, right? About 3 years or so in Japan, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, official, like, since you were baptized, most of that time. Okay. Yeah, because I think I was baptized in 2012, February 2012, and then I came to Japan March 2013, and then I've been here the whole time. So I I kind of did, I think, the same as you. I inquired about a year. I think I started going around 2010, and then I started inquiring maybe 2011, 2010, 2011, and then in 2012, I think I got baptized. So yeah. So what do you think about being Orthodox in Japan? Oh, also, what did your family think? Did anyone join you? Has any of your family members, you know, were was anybody confused? Um, how'd that go?
Uh, they were, well, they didn't really have a reaction because, you know, I'm an adult, so, you know, that was my decision. So,
Okay, okay. Well, I guess that's kind of good. I mean, because some people, they'll have kind of negative reactions from the family.
hostility, especially
Yeah,
if they're more of like an entrenched family.
yeah. Like I think with my wife, um, in the beginning when we talked about kind of religion and things like that, she was a little nervous because she didn't know what her family would think, because her family is very, 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 very Japanese. you know, um, but we were pleasantly surprised, especially from her mother. Her mother was like, yeah, it's yeah, that's your choice. That happened because her mother was kind of like, because in Japan there's mostly Buddhist or Shinto. Like you'll have Buddhist families and Shinto families, and sometimes when one member from the other marries into another, one person will convert. Like one person will become Shinto or one person will become Buddhist to join the family. And so my wife's mom was like, yeah, that happens. So her mama didn't really care. Her mom was like, okay, okay, cool. And then we were a little worried about her dad, because he's like a very proud Japanese man. I love him so much. My in-laws are amazing. uh and he was cool too. So that's definitely, I think, a blessing to not not have to deal with that conflict, especially from family.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. um have you had any of your family or friends kind of express interest in Orthodoxy or ask you more about it, or have they all just kind of just let you do your own thing?
Oh, they largely let me do my own thing. I did get, well, a few questions from people, well,
Hmm.
that that I, well, barely spoke to, or just happened to be on the same Discord server or referred.
Okay. Okay. So again, there's not a lot of conflict, kind of like a peaceful reaction from everybody. That's good. Thank God for that. Um, what are you what are your thoughts on um being Orthodox in Japan? Because
Right.
Japan's many people say Japan's not religious, but I think I would describe it as like Japan is very religious, but it's conceived of in a different way than how maybe a Western mind would think of it. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, well, there really isn't a one size fits all
Right.
on this,
Hmm.
because, well, cultural attitudes even in Europe is different.
Hmm.
So Japan, well, it's a, well, born Shinto, marry Christian, die Buddhist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard that. Yeah.
Well, and then we look at Sweden.
Okay.
Sweden official census, or official assumption, majority atheist.
Hmm.
But well, when I asked a Swedish person on this, he said that is not true. He says that each Swede have their own Swedish, well, Christian heart. So
Okay, so it's kind of a difficult thing to
It's
uh
a I think it's a different interpretation.
and okay, yeah. Um what are your personal experiences being Orthodox and living in Japan? Um because like for example, where I'm from, I'm from the States, I'm from Tennessee. And in Tennessee, well, just like in America, Orthodoxy is not that big compared to the other Christian denominations and stuff like that in the States. But compared to Japan, it's massive, right? Like there's multiple Orthodox seminaries in America. There's multiple monasteries, multiple churches, and church groups and organizations and all this, published publications and all this other stuff. Um, so I found, although I was only Orthodox like a year and a half in America, I found it to be very, I'm not to say like easy in a way, because I could go to church easily 3 times a week, every week, right? Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, every week. There were college groups for Orthodox faithful. There were, these retreats. There were, all these, seminars, all these things. And then when I came to Japan, I found I had to learn a lot, kind of like going out into a spiritual desert. But I'm intensely grateful for it, because it was, I interpret it as God was saying, okay, I'm gonna give you like a year. I'm gonna give you a year to be comfortable and kind of, get ready. And then when you go to Japan, it's the work is gonna begin, the working on yourself. Um,
This is
and
where
yeah,
you put to the test.
yeah, right. And uh, I've I've never been the best at studying for tests, nor have I been the best at taking tests. And then God is going to be like, okay, I'm going to spiritually test you, just to, just to help you grow. And it's hard. It's hard. But at the same time, it's eye opening, because it's like, at least for me, it's like, okay, this is the place where you really kind of show if you're really about this Orthodox life or not, you know um because there's not a lot of churches in Japan, as you know. There's very few priests. um Most churches that I know of don't have services every Sunday, let alone 3 times a week, you know
Right.
and so you got to kind of find a way to nurture your faith. You have to be more conscious of it in a way. um but that's a whole other thing. I'm making it sound terrible, but from the Japanese people I've talked to, it's again kind of like you say with the people in Sweden, or was it Sweden or switch Sweden?
Good.
Sweden. What, like, kind of like the people in Sweden, it's how you conceive of it, it's how you think about it, that's a little different. And so I've talked to some of the people here in the churches that only meet like once a month, and one thing they tell me is, and even some of the priests are like, you pray when you can, you do the small things as often as you can, and that has a big impact. And that's something also I've learned from being here, is to appreciate what is available. Japan doesn't have all the stuff the other Orthodox countries have, but Japan has something. And what Japan does have
Mm.
uh, can still produce a lot of spiritual growth. That's me. What do you think?
I think, well, I was baptized in Singapore,
Hmm.
which isn't Christian majority. Well,
Right.
Christians a significant part of the population, but well,
Hmm.
majority is Buddhist, Chinese Buddhist. So
Hmm.
this this advantage has, it has already been there when I was baptized.
Okay, so
like
you're
finding
already used to it.
so finding food during the Great Lent.
Hmm.
Fortunately, there are some vegetarian or vegan Buddhist cuisines that could help on this, thanks to people that used to be Buddhist that happens to know about it. So
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think because being vegetarian or is that's an important thing in Buddhism, right? Or at least some Buddhists,
uh, some
right?
some I
It's
think they're more strict in India. So
okay. But it's not uncommon, right, within Buddhism to have people that are vegetarian and things like that. So it's kind of something that a Buddhist would be familiar with if you mentioned fasting or something like that.
right, so somewhat relatable.
Hmm.
So let's see what else. So Japan, it's harder.
Harder.
So
Okay. In what ways?
well, first I was on my own because I had like an established group of friends back in Singapore.
Hmm.
Japan, I had to start from scratch,
Hmm.
and I was first in the Orthodox parish in Yokohama, which is small well, and not really much people my age, and they were largely elderly, so it was
Hmm.
difficult to relate to. But still, I was able to get some advice from the priest there then, and some of the parishioners still.
Hmm.
So there was something at least.
Okay. Yeah.
So I moved to the Nicolaido Cathedral after the priest in Yokohama was moved to Kyushu. So
Yeah. 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 I remember him being moved to Kyushu. Yeah. Okay.
then I moved to Tokyo. I
Mm.
was able to reconnect with a friend from Singapore.
Hmm.
Turned out he got a very big job, which
Hmm.
moved him from Singapore to Tokyo. So I was able to reconnect with him, and gradually I got to know more people there. That's what we often go for tea after liturgy. So
This Singapore friend, this wasn't the
yes,
person that was baptized with you. This is a different person.
uh, there were it was a bunch of a group of people, so not just him.
Oh, a
So,
group of people baptized with you.
no, before.
Oh,
So
before. Oh, before. Oh, okay, these are different people. Okay. So you kind of got uh,
mhm, finally
reconnected with
got
people
the
in
taken
Tokyo. Okay.
footing back in Tokyo. So
Okay.
I'm thankful for it, and what as you build your own base, such as what starting a family, then
Mhm.
I think you would be as stronger as ever.
Right.
Uh, so you can make what necessary adjustments at home,
Hmm.
uh, including what living in Japan. So if you're at home, you can cook more often. You can
Hmm.
make friendly meals.
Hmm.
So
I Yeah, I asked one of the priests I talked to a lot about the fasting because I'm bad at it, man. I it's so hard. But
Japan, Japan's what probably the hardest place to fast.
yeah, I mean it's I've gotten a lot of different perspectives on it.
Mhm.
You know, on how some people are very very strict on the exactness of the fasting, like reading the wrappers and everything, and some are more kind of forgiving in what's actually in the food and more concerned with, are you putting forth the effort to fast? You know what I'm saying? Like I remember in America, one of the people at the church there said something like, um I would feel he said something like, I would feel more comfortable eating a small piece of a cheeseburger during a fast than stuffing myself with all of this salad and fasting food, And so for me, when it comes to fasting, I'm trying, me and my wife are trying, and each year I just try to, become a little bit less uh greedy,
Mhm.
you know and I try to, if I, for some reason, if I can't resist like some meat or whatever, I at least try to reduce the portions, try not to eat as much, or something like I try. I'm not always the best at it, but
We
I try.
have our own struggles.
Yeah,
For some people, fasting is easy. Some
yeah,
it's not. So
yeah.
no
um
issue.
a few more things I want to ask you, because I know, like, you just got off work. I don't want to keep you too long. Um, one of the I want to ask you a few more things. One thing is, how does Orthodoxy affect your daily life, like outside of church, like when you're going to work, or when you're about in Tokyo? How does being Orthodox impact how you interact with people throughout the day?
Well, it's other than being a conversation starter,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
uh, well, using connections in church for
Mm-hmm.
work-related matters as well.
Mm-hmm.
There is a significant difference because Japanese people usually go to shrines and temples.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the Orthodox Church instead. So
Right.
there is already a difference there. So
Mm-hmm.
what else? Hmm. Hmm. I suppose, well, as long as you do it right, you also have. I think you have a stronger connection to your religion in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to an average Japanese person, I would say. So that
What do you mean by stronger connection? Do you mean like you're more consciously aware of it, or?
more consciously aware and well, for converts at least, you would try to study or be
Right,
required to study depending on where you got baptized and who your spiritual father is.
right, right. Um, I agree with that. It kind of, you become more consciously aware of it. Do you think Orthodoxy has impacted uh, how you treat, or how you think about um, the non-Orthodox, non-Christian in Japan? Because because I noticed, like, you can ask my wife. I'm a very I get mad really easily over really, really tiny things. And like, oh, it's like if I brought my wife in here, she could talk to you for about an hour of just how annoying I am. She can talk to you all day about that. But I think for me, being Orthodox, it kind of forced me um to slowly look inward at myself, and then that, as a consequence, kind of forced me to, like, how do I say this, like, project my humanity on the people around me, because I didn't really think so much before of how rich and deep other people's lives are, like random people you meet at the convenience store. Like, their lives are as deep and as rich and as serious as my own. And you know being Orthodox kind of forced me to review myself constantly, and it made me think, okay, I need to grow, I need to mature. And that in turn caused me to rethink, okay, so I shouldn't be mad at this person for this one thing, because this person, just like me, is growing, they're learning, they're maturing. And so, just like I need to forgive myself and trust God to help me, I should do the same to that person. So has being Orthodox affected how you view others or something like that?
Well, how I look at myself, certainly. Like
Mm-hmm.
what? Voices they take for granted. Well, now what? You can't do it anymore. You know
Mm-hmm.
why, and you try to improve yourself from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it trains you spiritually. So that is there. Other people, I just had a basic live and let live attitude. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as they don't bother us, then we're fine. You
Okay.
can
Right. Okay.
so as long as they're not oppressing us with a sword or a Kalashnikov, then
Yeah.
you know then I'm fine. Listening
Yeah.
to Buddhist bells at a distance or hearing muezzin sing from the mosque. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so,
See, I think, yeah, that's also something that I'm trying to adjust to, because I also used to be very, very strict on, well, I can't even say strict because I'm not strict on myself. I'm very lazy with myself. I always give myself excuses for not doing things. But if I met somebody who disagreed with what I thought, it's just, they have committed a grave sin, that type of thing, right? And so me being Orthodox, it's kind of forced me to kind of be like, Nikolai, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically telling myself, dude, shut up. Be gentle to people. How many times have you been horribly wrong? How many times have you committed this same sin, and then you're gonna get mad at somebody because they did, like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? That's and I thank God for that, because it's that maturity that I think it's a blessing, because God's like, hey, like if you decide to follow me, I'm gonna clean you up, but you're not gonna like it. I was talking to one of my church friends back in America a couple days ago, and we were like, bro, Jesus never said that this is supposed to be fun. He said, I'm gonna clean you up. He's like, I'm gonna make you better. It don't mean you gonna like it. It's like, were you ever like a kid and you had to take some like medicine when you get sick, and you drink it and it's like it tastes like death, like it's the worst tasting medicine ever, but you feel better? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Is that fair to say? I don't know if that's fair to say.
it's
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a good assessment.
Right. And
So if you remember let's see, let's see, the scriptures parable, was it parable about a rich man, saw you know uh Jesus Christ,
mhm,
and wanted to ask wanted to join him,
mhm,
wanted to go to heaven. What do I need to do if I need to
mhm,
go to heaven? And then he was told that he needs to give up his riches and join him.
mhm.
He wept and left, like that,
Yeah.
I think.
Like, but that's hard though. you know yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does feel like that when when I heard your story. So
Yeah. Yeah. um and but it's kind of like what you were talking about. It kind of it forces us to look in on ourselves, and I think that's, especially nowadays, that's kind of at least for me, living in Japan as an Orthodox Christian, that's one of the hardest things, is that inward reflection. But I notice, because if you look at a lot of Japanese media, music, movies, manga, there's a whole bunch of uh, games, manga, anime, TV shows that have a theme of internal sadness, like this internal emptiness, right? There's a whole bunch of Japanese media that covers being spiritually empty, dark, lonely, lost. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is where Orthodoxy in particular could connect with the Japanese spirit, because it's about going through that journey, at least how I understand it. It's about going through that journey of darkness and internal reflection, but instead of losing hope, it's like, Christ is leading you through it. And I think what could happen, I don't know, but what I imagine could happen for a lot of people here is they get stuck in that darkness, and they imagine that they have no hope, but Christ is like, nah, bro. But that's how he talks in my head. He's like, nah, bro, I got you. It's like, I'm gonna take you out. There's something beyond this. And I think, I don't know. I think more, like a lot more Japanese people need to know about Orthodoxy, but that's for God to decide, not me.
Right.
Oh, one more thing I want to ask you before I let you go, because I know you're tired. What is your kind of future going forward? Because I know, I don't know if you want to make the announcement, but I know you
Right,
got
right.
some big
I'll do it.
plans
I'll
coming
do
up.
it.
Okay.
So let's see.
Yeah.
Yes. So since last year, I was speaking to a girl from St. Petersburg on Facebook.
Ooh.
So that was last year on November, and then
Okay.
fast forward February, started a relationship, even though we haven't met yet.
Hey, that happens nowadays. That's okay.
And then, well, I went to Russia in July. We finally met. So we got the blessing from her spiritual father,
Mm-hmm.
Father Yohan Mironov, quite
Mm-hmm.
famous in Petersburg as an elder.
Okay.
And yes. And then I proposed.
Well,
And
what she say?
yes.
Yeah. And again, for privacy, we don't need to say her name, but I've I've communicated with your fiance several times, actually, before I
Yeah.
knew that y'all were getting married. I think because she also has a great love for Japan, and I think she's studying Japanese, was it language or culture or something in Russia? I think
Yes.
she's
Speaking
almost
Japanese language.
right.
That
And
is.
I think we randomly met each other through the Japanese Orthodox Facebook page, and I started, just chatting with her, like, hey, how you doing? You like Japan? That's great. And then she told me, I think she mentioned you a little bit, and then you and I kind of just randomly bumped into each other in
So
Nikolai. And
she was mentioning you also, saying there is a American monk named Nikolai,
a monk.
something like that.
I'm not a monk. I mean, no, I can't be no monk. But yeah. No,
Right,
yes.
right. So that's confirmed. You're not a monk. I was
Yeah, yeah.
wondering that whether you were a monk. So
No,
you didn't look the part. So
no. Lord, I couldn't. That's too hard of a struggle. But no,
right.
and so I know she really loves Japan, and I think you said um she's gonna try and make it to Japan like in the next year or so, something like that, God willing.
Year, yes, next year. So after our marriage in Russia, we'll try to
Okay,
work on the visa
right.
and be there before Christmas. Or be in Japan before Christmas, hopefully.
Okay. Oh, and so y'all are gonna have the wedding in Russia.
Yes, the wedding in Russia. We'll try to live stream it.
Yeah.
It will be done by Elder Father Yohan Mironov, as mentioned.
Okay. Later on, if you can kind of send me some information about him so I can see if I can look him up, and because that'd be pretty cool to research him. Um, and well, uh, speaking of that, as the marriage, and we pray that you and her have a blessed wedding and many wonderful years together. And speaking of that, I talked to you about this before, but I think you have a Patreon, right? No, not a Patreon,
No,
PayPal, right?
PayPal. Yes.
Okay. Um, so later, give that to me. And at the end of this video, we're going to put that down, either a link in the description or like somewhere on the screen, because to all you people that watch my channel, y'all support me and y'all have helped me out over these years. And this brother here, he's getting married. He, if it's only like, a few dollars, we need to give him something as like a little wedding gift. You know what I'm saying? So after this is over, send that to me. I'll put that in there. But I think for tonight, because I know you just got off work, I know you're tired and everything. I think this would be a good place to kind of end it for
Right.
tonight. Talking about getting married and having a wonderful future to look forward to. So,
Right.
Nikolai, thank you very much. Do you have any final words? Anything you want to say to the people?
Right. All right. I would like to thank Nikolai for this opportunity. I was able to think about myself a lot when doing this interview. Like when the asked the question, I tried to remember deep back, and I just remember the polls are very mundane.
Mhm.
Nintendo 64, media about Russia, whether they're even if they're the antagonists in some cases,
Yeah.
and
Sorry,
what
Russia.
else?
Yeah, America kind of sorry about that. But it was a fun game. It's a fun game.
Japanese media did it too.
Oh,
Japanese media did it with Beyblade. The final villains were Russian, so
oh. We're sorry, Russia. We're sorry.
yeah, that's also another reason what pulled me to Russia. The Russian characters in Beyblade. So
I love that. I love that.
yeah,
I
it's
love the
very
game.
mundane.
I mean, but it's not really a mundane thing if you think about it. I mean, like, uh, it's like God will use the tiniest things to guide us, and so I think that's perfectly uh fine and should be talked about proudly. Like, yeah, what eventually led you to Orthodoxy was video games. It's awesome, and it speaks perfectly to like modern society, that God can use anything. Games, man. you know yeah,
I am very millennial on that.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, I think
but
that's all. Yeah. And thank you for the opportunity. And
very welcome.
what else? And thanks for even offering for the PayPal thing.
Oh no, I'm serious too.
The,
I'm serious. Like, I'm serious. Like,
yeah, the proceeds will go for the wedding preparation, and I will make sure that anything remaining would go to my future in-laws part in their preparation,
yeah, you
because
gotta help them
said
out.
that they would uh host things, use connections to make things, to arrange things. So I want to make sure that I'm able to help out at least in that. So
Oh yeah, and whatever whatever we can help uh raise for you, may it go to helping uh build a sturdy foundation for the future of you and your family.
thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, man, but thank
Thank
you very much. You go get some sleep, and send me the information for your PayPal and the information about that priest, because I'd love to look him up.
Right.
But thank you very much.
He is,
I'll see.
he is quite interesting. I'll send you a photo of him, of me with him also. So
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'll put that in there too. Thank you very much. get some sleep, and hopefully I'll see you Sunday.
All right. See you Sunday. And well, because the start of the nativity fasting, we could go and get some magrodon after that.
Yeah, I like the
What do you think?
the salmon. I like the salmon. Wait, no, maguro, tuna. I like the tuna. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get both. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Right. I have a
All right.
thank you.
See you around.
Thank you. See you.